Hi everybody, how's it going? I hope everybody's doing well. I have another cologne, not review today, but first impressions. I haven't really done a first impressions in a while. I thought that would be fun. Today I'm going to do, you guessed it, Happyland Studio rather, excuse me. Shadowland. This is a perfume that came out, I think this year. You know, I've been late to the party with a lot of the perfumes in this house. But I got a couple of these in. You know, I've been doing these recently, and that's mostly been what I've been wearing recently for a number of reasons. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. It's because, I don't know, designer houses have not been striking my interest lately. Niche houses tend to be very expensive for my budget and my tastes. Happyland has just been where it's at for me. That's just how it is. I have other hobbies as well, so I kind of have to strike a balance with things that I'm into. And Happyland has just been doing it for me. I really appreciate the work that's put into this company. So that's just why it's been a lot of Happyland. That's my bag lately. So I have today Shadowland. You know I'm always late to the party, but we have Shadowland. I want to thank UJ for sending me these bottles. I did buy samples, but he decided to send me 30 mils. So thank you, EJ. I thought I should say that. I don't want you to think that he sent me these for free. I will say that I did buy samples, but he generously sent me these bottles. Nonetheless, I will be as transparent as possible with you because that's how I do it here. If I don't like it, I'll let you know, but if I like it, I'll tell you. So Shadowland, I wanted to do this one first. I have another one, but I wanted to do this one because, well, you know, if you're familiar with Happyland Studio, EJ's style of perfume that I think he is his favorite and that he definitely gears towards is slightly sweet, rich sort of winter and fall scents. He doesn't really do fresh scents. He does have some masculine, non-sweet scents in his line for sure that are very good. But a lot of them are like richer, sweeter kind of winter scents. And reading the description of this when it came out, it seemed like this one wasn't going to be very sweet, maybe something a little different, a little unique, and that was something that I was interested in. Maybe an oddball fragrance, like for instance, Blue Fire, if you're familiar with that fragrance from him, is a very odd fragrance. I don't know if it's something I love, but it's a very odd fragrance, so I really like that. I'm looking for something like that, and that's why I wanted to do this one first. So yeah, let's give this a shot. I'll read the description and the notes for you before I get into this. He writes, Shadowland explores the symbiotic relationship between light and dark, nice and nasty, beauty and beast, sun and shadow. What we do in the shadows follows us into the light. It looks like we have bergamot, pink pepper, lavender, rosemary, sage, orris root, jasmine, rose, sandalwood, black agar, musk, and coumarin. So perhaps not a terribly sweet fragrance. It's going to be a nice change of pace from the very sweet fragrances I've been wearing lately, and hopefully something different. Yeah, I'm just excited. I've watched a few reviews of this fragrance on YouTube when it came out, and I really couldn't get a good idea of what this smelled like for some reason. So I'm hoping that that's because it's a very unique fragrance. But regardless, I'm going to spray this on a tester just for today, but I will come back and talk about it. Hopefully I can get this insane spraying. Hopefully you can see that. Just the crazy, crazy sprays that you get from these atomizers are so good. All right, so let's see what we get. Okay, right off the bat, I really like this. Yeah, it definitely was right in my what I thought this. I guess I didn't know what this would smell like, but I had an idea that this isn't gonna smell like what I think it is my point I'm trying to say, is that when I spray this, I just think I'm gonna get a different smell. I'm sure you know what I'm trying to say. Colognes that you try to get an opinion on and you can't quite pick up what it is. I know that this is a lavender heavy fragrance. I definitely have heard people say that, and that's for sure. There's quite a burst of lavender in here. So if you don't like lavender, I could see you not liking this. I, for one, love lavender, so that's cool. Okay. Yeah, wow, interesting. Sorry, I'm not being quite descriptive. I'm just trying to get my nose under this. Um, I was expecting something a little more sharp and masculine, like perhaps closer to. He has some quite sharp masculine scents, like not Homeland, Homeland. Yeah, sorry, Homeland Barbershop. I don't know if it's quite sharp, but it's very masculine. Oh man, this is really good. Wow, that's really good. Okay, what does it smell like to me? I'll tell you. I don't want you to be turned off because I think this smells really good. It smells like there's a very strong lavender smell at the top of this. Definitely a lavender dominant fragrance, which is good for me because lavender for me smells really good and is very calming. It's a very calming sort of scent. So I'm sorry, my thoughts are all over the place. People said this is a very lavender dominant scent, but lavender can go many ways, especially depending on what aroma chemical is used and what type of lavender is used, if it's an essential oil. And lavender can be quite sharp. It can be. It can be calming and smooth, or it can be quite sharp and pungent. But I will say that this is in the middle. It's definitely got a kick to it, but it's very calming. And I also get the smell of, this might sound weird, but of like dryer sheets laundry kind of smell, like a fresh laundry smell. I don't know how else to describe it than that, is like a nice, really nice lavender kick with a lavender. I'm going to do one more spray on this. Might be too much, but wow, that's a lot of mist. Yeah, lavender and like a linen smell, laundered smell. Truly what I'm getting mostly. And you might not like that. You know, if, again, I'm reiterating myself, but if you don't like lavender, you certainly won't like that. And if you're not a fan of like the linen sort of smells, dryer sheets, I don't want it to sound like it's coming off chemically. It doesn't really, that's not the vibe I'm getting, but like a linen, freshly laundered sort of cotton shirt sort of smell, you probably wouldn't like this, but those are two things I love. I love a good linen candle. Oh, wow. And it really comes off like that. Wow. Extremely calming, I would say. Certainly not what I thought. I was expecting a more masculine, definitely masculine, I will say, with the lavender. But there's just, this feels so relaxing and calming. I'd say this is probably the most relaxing scent that he's made that I've smelled. Wow. That's very calming. There is orris root in here, which in my experience can give off a powdery vibe. If you've actually Blue Fire, if you smell that, I believe that has orris root in it, and that fragrance comes off quite powdery. I'm getting a bit of a powder vibe, but it's not, we're just in the opening right now. I can't fully review this for you. I'll have to come back and do a thorough review once it dries down, but there is a touch of a powdery vibe here. We'll see how much that goes with that orris root, but if you're afraid of powdery scents, I don't think at the top it's that extreme. But yeah, really, to break it down, a nice lavender, really good if you love lavender, and then a linen smell. And those two are just so calming, Linen smells and fragrances, in my opinion, are normally the result of aldehydes like C12 lauric. If I don't know if I pronounced that, got that name right, but it's definitely an aldehyde that's used, C12, I think, that often gives that linen vibe. Aldehydes are really tricky to work with because they're so strong and so bright. So, that kind of thing. A fragrance that definitely has aldehydes at the top that I really like is Prada Amber Pour Homme. Gives that powdery, luxurious sort of vibe to it. But this has a similar sort of linen smell that I get from Prada Amber Pour Homme. This doesn't smell soapy, but it's got that linen vibe. But this is a lot smoother, actually, than Prada Amber Pour Homme, which pokes out a little bit more and is a little bit brighter. So I wouldn't describe this as smelling like Prada Amber Pour Homme, but it definitely has a similar vibe in the opening. I know a lot of people said this smells like Reflection Man. I don't know that fragrance, though, so I can't tell you. Wow. Totally not what I was expecting, which I knew it wouldn't smell like what I thought, but I like this way more than I thought I would. I really do. I thought this was going to be a fun wild card scent that I would get just because it's something different. But this isn't something different in like a weird way. This is something so calming and so pleasant to smell that I could see myself wearing this all the time. This is perfect because, you know, I have Diabolique, which is sweet but a bit smoky and a bit peppery and dark. And then I have Happyland Signature, which is sweet but rich and thick and beautiful. And this is a different vibe than that. It's not sweet at all, really, in my opinion. The bergamot, sure. Pink pepper, I can pick that up a little bit, but really lavender, rosemary, sage, orris root, jasmine, rose. Oh, sure, I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. But this gives me a similar fall winter vibe. You know, this feels like that. Perhaps spring, early spring when it's nice and chilly. Yeah, that's what this would be good for. Interesting. I did see a lot of people actually say they didn't like the opening of this, and that apparently it dries down into a really nice scent, but the opening was something that people weren't really digging. And this opening is outstanding. I mean, this is so much for me. Of course, everybody's tastes are different, but this opening is so freaking pleasant. I'm surprised. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's tastes are different, but I'm surprised people said this opening was weird. Some people said they weren't sure what it was going for. Oh God, this is just absolutely wonderful. Wow. This is great. I'm trying to think if it reminds me of other things he's made. I'm not really sure. You know, he always has signature blends. He uses his own accords and signature DNA. But I'm not sure if this is particularly making me think of anything else in his line. He certainly has his masculine scents, but they're a little bit too old school for my tastes. This is like right in the middle. I think that if you want something masculine that's like, hey, I'm a gentleman, this might be for you. But if you're afraid of it smelling a bit too old school, like perhaps Homeland, I think is a little bit old school smelling. I don't think you're going to get that with this. There's a touch of that in there, but it smells modern enough where I don't think you'll be scared by it. And it just is so lovely at the top. Okay, I'm starting to repeat myself, but wow, that's surprisingly excellent. I shouldn't say I smelled the cap like I can smell it. I shouldn't say surprisingly like, oh, he sucks. Surprisingly, this is good. I just wasn't expecting that. There's a beautiful powder to this. A beautiful, I guess slightly sweet, but the most minimum you could think of. Wow, lovely. Okay, so that's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to wear this today. Wow, that is really good. And give this a shot. This would be a perfect fall winter scent if I'm getting sick of wearing something sweet. Lovely. I mean, that is really good. That's like an A+ for my nose. Yeah. That's Shadowland. Wow. I will be honest with you. I don't want to say I wrote this one off, but he does release scents. He does release scents frequently, which is great because it gets my excitement up for sure. But he does sometimes release scents in duos. You know, he'll release like 2 scents at once or 3 scents at once. And I want to say I get overwhelmed, but I will go, oh, Shadowland, cool. Well, I don't know. I'll get to that one. You know, it's less of an impact if like Diabolique comes out. It's one. It's hard to explain, but the way that my mind works. But I almost did kind of write this off in a sense, like, oh, I'll get to that one. But I can't believe I slept on this for as long as I did because this is just so good. Like 2 thumbs up, A+, like excellent. I'll get back to you on the dry down because I know that I've heard it brightens up a bit, becomes a bit more fresh. So we'll get to that. But at the opening is like 100% for me is just outstanding. Like, oh yeah, I'm so glad I have this. Okay, that's Shadowland, my first impressions. I promise you, I'll get back to you with a full review of this one, but I just wanted to do a first impressions because I was so excited. Wow, that is so good. I'm going to do the one I wanted to do, which is Shameless. Yes. Sneak peek for myself. Ooh, citrusy. Yeah, his take on a summer freshie. That's something I'm very excited for, but we'll get to that. I wasn't as excited for this one as Shameless, but man, that's wow, that's good. Okay, I'm ranting and rambling and whatever. Shameless. or sorry, pardon me, Shadowland. They start with an S. I suggest trying this for sure if you like slightly powdery linen laundered sort of lavender smells. Certainly at the top, I think that you would really like this. The calming factor, though, I must not diminish the importance of that, how absolutely calming this is. I could see putting this on at night or getting out of a shower and just feeling so calm and fresh. Slight freshness to it, too, because of that bergamot. But yeah, that's really, really superb. Okay, I hope you've all been well. I know I've been gone a lot, but I'm back. I got more reviews for you, so I hope to hear from you. I love hearing from you folks. Let me know what you've been wearing if you've tried this one. The only thing I will say about this that I don't like is the bottle is black. Now, that's kind of a double-edged sword because I do think that that fits with the aesthetic of this fragrance and the whole thing he was going for. And I do actually think this black bottle, I've never seen one of them in person. It's very handsome. It's a very good-looking bottle with the cap. But you can't see how much juice you have. That's my only qualm. But it's a minor thing. But that's my only thing. Yeah, that's good. All right. Take care, everybody. Hope to hear from you. Peace out.